Hi everybody, it's Mr. E. We're on a drive time. Gonna get some cookies delivered. Oatmeal craisins. Pretty much fresh out of the oven too. Fucking delicious. Nice and fluffy. Not overly sweet. Nice and tasty. Be doing a cooking show on that one soon enough. In the meantime, happy 420 to everybody. It is the one specialized day that I actually agree with. It's not like all these fucking victims awareness months or, you know, this and that days or God knows whatever other fucking pandering day of interest needs to be made. This is a day that I can actually get behind. And smoke. So, what do we got for you today? Well, I finished up my routine yesterday for the comedy show on Friday. And today I will be going through it with myself and probably with another person or two just to kind of give it a nice run through. At which point I'll give a good night's sleep to myself. Hopefully. And I'll go in tomorrow night, 8 p.m., do a full set. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I want to do. God, it's a beautiful day. Said it was supposed to be raining all fucking day, and it hasn't been. Yeah, granted, it's about half cloudy and shitty, and the other half is nice and sunny. Typical Oregon weather. Schizophrenia. Mother Nature. Wait 5 minutes. In this case, I think it's been like this for about 15. Yeah, time to go celebrate some 420. Time to go get some quality. Now again, I did the cookies just for shits and giggles. I frequent this place I go, the dispensary I go quite a bit. And why not do something nice for people? I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than being a negative asshole, right? I mean, it is for me. I mean, I don't know what it's like for you. I mean, maybe you like to shit on people. Maybe you like to treat people like dirt and garbage. Maybe you like to fuck people over. I don't know. Maybe it gets you off. Maybe it gets you your kicks. Who knows? But not for me, man. The only time I have that kind of a want or need is when I get up on stage and be like, hey, how can I offend you today? Well, let's find out. It ought to be fun. Not the only time I want to do that. And that's just because vast majority of the time, since people are so scared of being offended, so afraid of being offended, so terrified of things that they've never had to deal with coming at them, as if it's too difficult and too hard to handle. And it's just like, dude, they're just words. They're just ideas. Fuck, get over it. I mean, seriously. I mean, that really needs to be said to a lot of people when it comes to being offended. Get over it. You know? I mean, it's one thing if I'm making, jokes about incest. I'm sure there's a lot of people that wouldn't find that funny. I'm sure there's a lot of people who, whose family tree looks like a fucking stump that would probably think that was not too funny at all. And yet, we make fun of rednecks for it, and, small town yokels for it, and, pretty much anybody and everybody who we honestly think might be molesting their sister or their cousin. Shit. Smoke them if you got them, I guess. I don't know. Comedy is comedy. It's all a matter of which way you want to go, I guess. Be right back. Hi! I'm back! To tell you the truth, you're in front of me, too. So anyway... Where the fuck was I? Oh yeah, I was driving, wasn't I? So anyway, 420 day, day of marijuana. Now, marijuana is a plant. It is the THC producing variety of hemp. Hemp is a plant as well, and both plants have been used since the first time somebody actually found one and figured out what it does. And all of a sudden it's like, ooh, really? That sounds great. And ever since then, guess what? Marijuana and hemp have been a perfectly fucking acceptable thing. Until about the 1930s, somewhere around there? I can't remember the exact time, but you had a bunch of different business interests and government interests trying to make a plant illegal. Now, the best part about that is that it's a plant, it is a weed, it'll grow anywhere, and government, knowing full well that the plant is no more harmful or addictive than anything else, and in fact it's far less, and the government knows this and actually holds patents on said fact. Meanwhile, it's a Schedule I drug and it has no medicinal value whatsoever. Yeah, makes a whole lot of fucking sense, doesn't it? So anyway, back when it was made illegal, Anslinger, who was then the head of, I think it was the precursor of the DEA, or maybe the DEA, I can't remember too much, commissioned Fiorello LaGuardia, who at that point was the mayor of New York City, one of the most powerful men in this country, okay? So, the government commissioned him to conduct a study, conduct a test of marijuana, and they wanted him to come to the conclusions that marijuana was addictive, that it was bad for you, that it caused hysteria and all sorts of other really fucked up shit. And they expected him to come up with this without a problem. Guess what? He didn't. Again, I can't imagine that today, where a mayor of a city in this country would literally tell a directive from the federal government that, you know, has so much weight and backing behind it. Tell the federal government to go fuck itself. Not only tell it to go fuck itself, but completely and totally disprove everything the government was trying to assert. I mean, that's stones and that's balls. Because that's what happened. His study literally said that, hey, guess what? It's not addictive. It's not habit forming. You can give it up and have literally no physical repercussions in doing so. Needless to say, the government didn't like that and pretty much put a ban on every type of research relating to marijuana after they illegalized it. They used fear and paranoia, Reefer Madness being one of the principal documentaries. Today it would be called a farce. Or fake news, actually. It'd be called fake news. That's the new buzzword for lying bullshit propaganda. But yeah. Isn't that great? The government wanting a preordained conclusion on something that they wanted to get rid of and use as, you know, I mean, let's see, what was parts of it? Illegal immigration, that was one of the issues that they were using it to try and get rid of. Racist issues concerning Mexico and Mexicans coming into the U.S. Oh, God. God, I love our government. Fuck. How many more lies do they have to tell you before you actually start going, I think they're lying to me? Yeah, but anyway, back on subject. So for the next close to 100 years, the federal government has been lying to the American people, destroying hundreds of thousands of lives, millions when you count outside countries that we've invaded and overthrown and replaced with our own puppet regimes and had them start growing all the drugs that we supposedly don't want in this country. and here's, you know, for those of you saying, oh, that's bullshit. Afghanistan right now, their opium production is, I think, tops in the world. Before we came in, the Taliban wiped out the poppy fields. They didn't want them anymore because they knew what kind of problem it would cause. So, of course, everyone in the world wanted those poppy seeds back. All the drug manufacturers in this country, the Chinese, opium is one of their principal drugs of choice. So guess what? We go back into Afghanistan. We go into Afghanistan. We overthrow the Taliban under the pretense that they supported 9/11, which they partially did, and they housed Osama bin Laden. But then we used the same Taliban and Osama bin Laden narrative to go after Iraq. Jesus. So again, lies, lies, everywhere there's lies. Clogging up my politics and making my mind. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Can't you see the lies?